Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Once again.
Yes, we are.
Where?
To the VP and who?
Jay Show.
Jay Show.
Yeah, man. Again, thank you, man. We seen a couple of people commenting and following. Don't forget to tell a friend to tell a who, Jay?
To tell another friend.
That's right.
To like and subscribe.
Yeah,
Thank
that-
you,
Comment if you want
guys.
to.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, V, man. I kind of left that one out of the equation, but definitely another week in the books.
You know.
You know, the world is going around. It doesn't stop spinning, man. Doesn't stop spinning.
Oklahoma won the final.
Yeah, I
You gotta
mean,
say that. You gotta say.
So, you know, speaking of the finals, yes.
yeah, Jay.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Your team
a little,
won?
a
Did
little
you
team,
pick?
not my team. Just the
team
team
you
that I
picked?
chose.
That
Just
you
the team that I
chose.
chose.
Sorry.
Yeah, OKC won it in 7 games, which is the first time it's been a game 7 since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Which, unfortunately, even though I did want OKC to win, I didn't want
Right.
to win it that way.
They said it what in OKC in 4, and then you said 5.
I said
Then you said
OKC in
6,
5.
and you
I
said
it in
7.
five.
You said 4.
I said no. I never said a sweep. I
No,
never
he
said-
never. He did it.
Yeah,
I
he
added.
did it,
No,
he
no,
did it,
I
he did it.
added.
I take that back.
Then I said in 6, and you know they won in 7. It's all
Yeah,
right. It's all right. I was the closest one
Jay,
to Vic.
Jay was
Yeah,
almost.
because I got Indiana. Ain't it?
Yeah, both are Indiana, but
Jay was almost to the point he was gonna say in the OKC next season. he was gonna rock with them boys.
yeah, but like I was getting back to, like, it sucks to see the game not at full potential because
Yeah.
you know after 3 3-pointers, unfortunately Tyrese Halliburton went down with
Achilles.
a torn Achilles.
I told you.
He had 9 points in 7 minutes. It was crazy. He was 3 for 4 from the 3-point line.
Well, and here's the
How's it
crazy
going?
part. Even with his 9 points, he outscored Obi Toppin, Miles Turner, and Naismith combined in that game.
That's
Combined.
a problem. That's a problem. I'm not a fan of Miles Turner's game. I've seen him declined a lot. You know, he was that guy. Miles Turner has a couple of years in the league, but now when he was needed, he folded somewhat. You know, but
Well,
outside of, go ahead.
We'll never know what could have been this finals.
Right? No. What coulda, shoulda, woulda. But outside of that, man, a better championship that definitely I enjoyed, man. The Florida Panthers. Shout out to those boys.
Yeah. Shout out to the
Bringing that cup. Oh, keeping the cup.
to
Keeping the
back.
cup
Keeping
at
the
home.
cup.
back
Keeping the cup.
to back to back to back.
They did that, man. They
And-
did.
and-
No,
and-
but wait, they had to give it back for the season when the season started. But we
we
got
can
it
keep
back.
it.
Right, yeah.
back to back,
right,
back
right.
to back.
You're right.
But in case the world doesn't know, Florida
been
is
3.
the hockey capital of the world.
It could have been 3.
Yeah.
Don't, hey, Jay, don't say that loud, bro. Damn, dog.
You know, in 6 years,
Coño, Anito, era con nosotros. Con este
All Florida
calorazo, nobody
teams.
gonna believe you, bro.
Yeah,
our
we.
Florida team, 4 championships between the Lightning and the Panthers.
Yeah, that they getting a little ignorant here in South
And that
Florida.
team is not going away. The Panthers are not going away.
Aguanta, dame un chin, dame un chin.
Yeah, they
Shout out
Yes,
to them,
sir, yes,
shout out to them.
they on to something special, man. The players are stating how they want to stay together, and I ain't effing leaving, and you know what I'm saying. It signed me 8 more years.
No, sorry, Pete, and then the other veterans that they getting more or less let go from the other team, and we see the potential.
they
Come
snatching
on.
them. Yeah, I mean they
And they
do
want
say
to come out here now.
they do say we got the best GM in the game
Hey,
in sport.
I know they're gonna come out here now.
Let's
Hey,
see.
with them double back to back, they're gonna want to come. Hey,
Yeah.
who leaving? I want to be out there. Let me be in the bench.
Yeah, for sure.
It's barely any bench though.
That's-
You know what I mean? They rotate.
It's moving very smooth, man. That machine is
Yeah, man.
well oiled right now at this point.
I know the Panther gonna do some. I mean, I meant to say the Tampa Bay football. You know, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Sorry about that, fella.
Yeah, there's no need to talk about
But,
football right now. But yeah,
what you mean? It's coming up.
yeah, we still got time.
Well, yeah,
We got time.
something. Another championship out here. We need one. You know what I mean? Because the
For who?
Dolphins,
For who?
or the Dolphins. I ain't gonna put my team down, but ain't gonna go nowhere right now. Cause
Listen.
man,
That ain't
Listen,
going.
we're not talking about
Well,
fantasy right now.
with that
We're still
owner-
real.
Right, right,
I
right.
ain't say fantasy. I say football, bro.
That sounds like a fantasy to me.
Nah,
but that's
don't worry
fine,
about
but
that,
that's fine,
no.
You know, like
I said I got a lot on my chest. I want to let out, but it's okay though. We come back to that.
we'll come back to football when it's football time. I
Right,
think.
right,
now,
for
we're
sure.
still
We got time.
No,
We got time.
no me hagas esperar mucho porque yo suelto la lengua ahora mismo. Entonces,
Nah, we're still closing on basketball and all
es
this.
que tú no sabes lo que yo sé. Pues tanto te voy a dar un par de días.
Save it, save
O
it.
un par de episodios.
Save it.
Just remind me, perdón, P, remind me of this. Que ustedes no saben lo que yo sé del owner.
The loner. Okay, I'll remind you.
Okay.
Jay, like you typically do, man. You be bringing up topics off air, you know.
Oh, they're gonna say you be sweating.
No, I mean, normally you that's a norm. Everybody know what it is, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying. But for the past few episodes, we've been, you know, chopping it up before we get on the mics and shit. And again, you brought something nice today. You brought something to my attention that I really was clueless about, you know, and I feel extremely excited to touch this subject today
Right.
because it's major, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because
Talk to
unfortunately,
me.
it's not something that gets brought up to a light like, unfortunately, like Valentine's Day or other big things like that. But you know, I informed you guys that we're reaching the end of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's not something that's brought up a lot, but the only reason I even brought it up was because I was telling you, I was seeing on social media a lot of like women bashing this whole like month for what it is, saying in the sense of like, man, there's no such thing as men having mental issues. They're just doing it for attention from other guys, from girls. Like they don't have real things. You never see them crying or being emotional and stuff like that. And it's like, well, there's a reason for that. You know what I mean? And the reason for that is we're expected to not show those emotions. So the reason that you women, or not all women, but some women don't see it from your boyfriend or husband because they do it in private.
Yeah.
Because
right.
if not, it's going to be held as a weakness against them. You can bring it back one day and say, oh, you're not a man, this and that, which I faced that situation before, you know. So they don't know what men are going through. We keep it bottled in, unfortunately. We've been taught that way our whole lives.
Right. I mean, even you know, when it comes to your parents, right? Like, you know, your dad, for instance, or our dad. You know, it's a manly thing. It's not about, you know, oh, you're soft, but you're not supposed to. You know what I'm saying? They hit you hit back.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you're taught not to cry. You know,
Right.
because it's something that get caught off. It could get taken out of context. You know what I'm saying? So, but in reality, we do have emotions, man, and it happens, man. What up, V?
No, I was gonna say that whoever those female that Jay was talking about, that they, you know, bashing down these guys and stuff. I'm gonna give you an example myself.
Mm-hmm.
My dad died of prostate cancer. He cried when he was private. I called him one time, but nobody knew he was dying of like third stage of prostate cancer. Like he is no use for him, nothing, no cure, no nothing.
So you didn't tell anybody?
He didn't tell
He
nobody.
hit it.
So those are things when men.
Yeah.
That it's not that they scared sometimes. Oh, you might think, oh, he's scared to go to the hospital. No, he ain't scared. He probably been and you didn't even know he went. Now, you know what I mean? He knows something's really wrong with him and he don't even let the family know. Nobody know for years. You could say a good 20. You know what I mean? Because they're expected for men to be strong.
We're supposed to be like a certain type of rock. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
we
Like
should be
physically in
strong.
person. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what I mean?
I mean, not to go too far, and we can stay on cue. The neighbor, you just expressed to us the other day how she, her husband never told her anything. You know what I'm saying? Until he got like really ill, and then at this point, it was already too late for anything.
Right.
And for him, it was he didn't want to cause that stress on her. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So he did it again on that manly willpower type
right.
situation.
Yeah,
You know?
like let me, you know what I mean? Like I'm okay, but you know, we really know,
Right.
even though we are gonna be gone. So even by, you know, my dad not telling us that he was that bad too. That my dad was bad and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
It was just one day to the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His mom passed. You know, my grandma passed. He took a flight to DR. This man is healthy, P. Regular. This man is healthy, going to work. Like he was the one knocking down and Had Lear Garden over there by Barbara Gomez and all that.
Yeah, Lear Garden.
All that was nothing but bushes back in the day. We take
Right.
Okeechobee Road,
Right.
another road, we back there. This man working back there, knocking all that, cleaning all those things down. And boom, his mom passed. My grandma, he took a flight to DR while he was in the Dominican Republic. I had an accident. You feel me? In my back in the days in middle school. And my mom called him. He had to come. He flew right back. You know how usually the men get 9 days of
Right.
going and all that.
Right.
He came back probably like the 4th or 5th day. He was gone. Left, everybody else over there. And he came back, for his son. Came and checked me out. Bro, not even. We used to go to Jackson right there, the Baskin Palmer. I would say a month. Me going for my eyes made for like 2-3 weeks to a month. The following month, he was dying, and he got ill, and then we took him to the hospital, whatever he went, and we checked him out. When the doctor told my mom that she came back home, and she was like, "Yo, your dad is dying."
Yeah.
The doctor said he could be gone in a week, a month, and you don't know when.
And that's where my bad, V. And that's where the mental health come in at, right? Because not to take away from all other mental health issues, from gender, from age, not to take away from nobody, right? But for us men, we're installed to be that guy, right? To be that strong. So you have the chances of a guy hiding it more than a female, or actually a kid. The kid's gonna hide it because they might feel like they don't have no support.
Yeah.
Little do they know, all you gotta do is talk about it, right? We have females that go through certain things because nobody want to hear it. They don't believe them. Whatever. We all have our reasons why we don't tell anyone. But in reality, you know what I'm saying, a guy, you can see where a guy might not do it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're taught not to speak when it comes to stuff like that, or not to cry.
Yeah.
But it's real. And Jay brought that up, and I've witnessed last year, God rest their soul, I knew one, which one of them was my cousin, and the other person I never met him. And these two guys just committed suicide, right? And
Yeah.
for you to get to the point that you commit suicide, I asked God not to put nobody that close to me, like as close as He put my cousin, because that's the closest person I know that have done that. You have to be really going through something, man. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is against you. The world is against you at that point.
Right.
And I say more your mind.
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying though. Is
Look.
your mind is your world.
Look, and I can, and I
Yeah.
can tell you, like, the reason this month exists, and I looked this up before, is because suicide in almost every region of the world is made up 75 to 80% of men, everywhere. So it's basically
Wow.
3 out of 4 people are men killing themselves in almost
Wow.
every part of the world.
And you don't call that mental health problem.
Like, and the whole like crying and showing emotion things. Like, I had a brother-in-law. He passed away, unfortunately. He was with my sisters and like high school sweethearts, middle school sweethearts. He was like my brother. And when he found out he had cancer, he had stage 4 colon cancer. They're like, you have about a year. And that whole year, I never saw that man ever cry. And I'm like, damn, how do you do it? Even when he was like wasting away, he's just there, kind of like smiling. I'm like, bro, how do you do that stuff? Like, I cried for him. Like, when I called my job, I was in tears. Bro, I can't go in. Like, my brother just died,
Right.
stuff like that. And like, he did. I'm like, and he's older than me, like way older than me. I'm like, goes to show like how we are expected to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my dad, I've never seen him cry except one time, and that was when we found out that my mom passed away, like in the hospital. And I was in shock because raised by him, I was, supposed to be a tough guy.
Right.
Like, I remember the first time I ever shed tears around him, he didn't even see it. I was watching a movie with him. He was in his bed, and I was on the floor. And we're watching a movie, and, like, we saw somebody die. And I'm like, what happened? Because I was like 3 or 4. I wasn't sure what was going on. And he was, like, very matter-of-factly, without trying to, like, comfort me. He's like, oh, they die. People die. I'm going to die. You're going to die. Your mom's going to die. People die. And he left it at that. And I'm just there on the floor just like this. Like, I wanted to be comforted, but I didn't want him to know that I was in tears. I already was feeling what it's like to be like, my dad don't cry, so I got to be tough. So I was just there bawling by myself, realizing, damn, I'm gonna lose everybody.
Right.
So from a young age, I'm already
You're taught.
realizing
You're
this
taught.
is,
Yeah. I mean, I've been through a few situations where, I've shed tears. You know what I'm saying? My wife is a testament to that. She knows.
Yeah.
I don't hold them things back for no one.
Yeah, me
you know what I'm
neither.
saying? Like I'm not that. Trust you, me. And for you guys out there,
I
and for
might try, but
and for you ladies out there, for your kids, please let them be known. That'll make you less of a man at all. At all. God didn't create tears just for females or for kids or for babies to cry. That's for everybody. You let it out, and believe you me, 9 times out of 10, you will feel better.
Yes, sir.
And tell
Amen.
somebody to tell somebody if you're going through something.
And you know,
Yep.
I can tell you
That
this.
is
I
true.
can give a lot of thanks actually to V. Because having met V, he's the one that has encouraged me. Like, bro, you gotta let your emotions out. Like, you're always holding stuff in and stuff like that. And I have, like, you know, shed tears in front of him when I get like completely down. And like, he was able to bust down the walls and let me know that, hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
okay. Yeah, it's
It could
no-
be in
it's
front of
no-
another
yeah.
man, your
Right.
friend doesn't matter. You can do
Who
it.
cares? Yeah, just do it. Let it go.
I done it with him too, talking about my dad.
Yeah, I remember.
Woo, woo,
In
woo.
front of the house, I remember. I remember that day.
I got surprised. Sorry, P. I was like, damn, I didn't even know why I'm crying. I started crying.
I've encountered situations where or conversation with people that had lost a loved one, and of course you know who has. If you're a close knit to that individual, you know you might have the sense of knowing how much encouragement or how much power they might have in that family, and that's not the word I'm looking for, but you know how much control they may have, and the one thing I do tell them is like, okay, cry by yourself, don't cry in front of others.
Yeah.
And it's not about not crying, it's about holding everything down, because people are gonna bust down crying, right? So if you have the power to kind of contain it in certain situations, it's okay to do it, but you know that's because you're worrying about other people, but not for yourself. If you have to let it go at that moment, you let it go. That is the best thing you could do.
Yeah. Nah, and you just remind me of a situation too. Back in the day, I was young, probably 12 years old. My brother had passed, and we was in the Dominican Republic, and I remember like everybody's crying, and I'm kind of like acting tough and all this. Until I turned the corner and went to go into the backyard, I started crying hard, and I punched the wall like I was mad, like I guess.
Yeah.
furious and
Letting it out.
yeah, letting it out. Like everybody's crying like damn, and I was like, man, what the hell? Boom, and I punched the wall. I was crying, but I didn't show it in front of nobody else.
Yeah. I mean, at that age, again, it would have been fair if you would have done it. I have meant that to people that are like older. You know what I'm saying? Just okay, your mom passed. You got other family members. Hold it down. Cry by yourself. You know, it's just a metaphor that I brought up to people that are close knit to me, that I know how much strength you have in the situation. You know, like I remember my first cry, my first cry. Like it was, God rest his soul, my brother-in-law. I was in Brownsville. I was in the band. You know, that's my junior high years or whatever. And he was, you know, he used to play softball, typical Dominican, whatever. Sometime he will come and pick me up, and I will go with him to the park, yada yada, whatever, all that good stuff. And that day I just didn't go with him, right? And that was when the Okeechobee train was still going through the street.
Instead of above.
The overpath, right? So they that was before they created the overpath. And of course, you know, that train is a train wreck, right? That shit lasts forever.
So people try to take that.
Right. No, so what he did was he took an alternate route. And the alternate route cost him his life. Because the drunk driver he just drove straight into him. And I remember, you know, being at the funeral home, right, you know, and that day that was my first cry. That was like the closest person, although I've lost grandmothers, grandfathers, but we didn't have that connection, you know what I'm saying, like I had with this guy. And man, it was, all bets were off. Like at that point, as young as I was, you know, but I was able to let it out, and not to get away from the whole mental health situation. It is a thing. It is a thing. So whoever decipher that, that's not the one.
You
know
have
what I'm saying?
to
That's not it.
express your emotion, you know, and talk, because I think, you know what I mean? That's how people go crazy, get mental health, you know what I mean? You go too much, holding back and all this and all that.
Yeah, you got to let it out, man.
You gotta let it out.
gotta let
Or
it out.
therapy, something, talk to someone. I don't know.
I recommend everybody to have at least that one person that you could trust,
Right.
Shoulder.
a shoulder to lean on, or shoulder to cry on. You know, sometimes it may not be your loved one, it may not be
Right.
your significant other.
Right.
You know, because the thing with that, like you mentioned earlier, Jay, you know, you might cry to your wife and then they might use that against you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because here you are, you left the plate on top of the table, but you know, so go look for someone. Look
Right.
for someone and take what is it, constructive? You know,
Constructive criticism.
yeah, you got to take those
Right.
constructive criticism. You have to
Look,
take
I
them.
would
They're
even say
okay.
this: if you feel you have no one to talk to, there is nothing wrong with finding professional help, like talking to a psychiatrist, having someone that won't judge you. All they do is listen and give you feedback. They don't judge you. They just talk back to you and like, okay, like why are you feeling this way? What
Yeah.
is this? You know, like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with talking to a professional. And if you don't want to tell people about it, you don't tell them about it. Do it in secret. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's your business, but make sure you have someone you can talk to, no matter who it is. No matter who it is.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, man.
I feel you. You're right. You're right. Anything else, fellas?
I mean, yeah, we, you know, just enjoying the fact that again that we're together, you know, once again, man, and
Yeah.
doing this thing for a beautiful cause, you know, and again,
Yeah, I was not even aware of that either, to be honest.
yeah, no, Jay
You guys
came
started
through
talking
clutch
about
today, man. He came through because you know he normally does. Outside of sweating, he
But
normally
he-
do come clutch.
With some wild
So
ones.
so when he brought that one today, I was like, A1 right
Yeah,
there.
we
You know what I'm
have-
saying? That was an
yeah.
A1. That we didn't even have to rehearse that. We didn't have to study that.
Yeah.
This is straight off the dome. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a touchy one. It's touchy.
For
One
sure,
of, sorry,
for sure.
before that, one of the other things that I saw women mention about that is also like they complain like, why is there a men's mental health awareness month, but there's no women's mental health awareness month? And you know why that is, right? Because we're always paying attention to women's mental health. It's a year-round thing. Like we worry always about women, their emotions, stuff like that. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just saying it's
He's
like
not
we're
lying.
always like aware
No, we're
of
not
how
getting
like,
down like
especially when
that.
it's a woman
He
that you
not.
love, whether it be a sister, a mom, your wife, your
Yeah.
girlfriend, a friend, whatever. Like we're always in tune or like paying attention, making
You're
sure that
not
they're
lying.
fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean for women, before we get off air and take a little break, for women it's almost, you know, you got to watch out for those what you call it, domestic violence, right?
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that's where we have to be more aware of, because the mental issue, we technically have to be on top of that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They will let you know they're going through mental issues. You know what I'm saying? Your wife will let you know when she's upset. You know, you can smell upset at the house just when you walk in the door.
Yeah.
So I could see where we don't have a date designed for them, but the whole world is designed around them, which is great.
As
You know
it
what I'm
should
saying?
be, as
It should be. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. It's great. Yeah, it's great. It's
You know what I
great.
mean? Yeah.
The world don't revolve without them.
Y no estamos hablando del tigre.
Yeah, I know. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yes, it is. Nah, but thank you for the listeners. You know what I mean? Thank you for another episode of
Right.
the VP and J show. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Listen, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend if they're going through an issue, to tell a friend.
Right.
Yes, they have to talk to someone.
And I'll tell you this, like, if someone reaches out to you before we go,
Mm-hmm.
and they mention something like, bro, I'm just feeling down, I'm feeling bad, like, don't brush them off.
Yeah, don't
Like,
clown them. Yeah,
Pay
thank you,
attention to
Jay.
people. Because
Yeah.
I've been through a situation, with someone where, like, they're telling me, man, like, I'm done with it. And, like, I didn't
Just
treat
that.
it as, I didn't
sorry,
treat it as
Jay.
garbage.
Just that word right there. Done with it. I would have paid
Yeah,
attention
like-
at least more to what
Right,
you
right.
said.
I was like, you know
listen
what?
To you
What's
even
up? Hold
more.
on. You know what? I'll tell them, like, you know what? I'm hungry. I'll tell them all the time, hey, you know what? Come through. I'm hungry. Let's go out. Let's do so. I would find a way to bring them around and make sure that
Seven-
they're
Take,
fine.
take
I'm-
them out of that mindset.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say 9 out of 10, but I would say 7 out of 10. When somebody commits suicide, somebody saw something.
Or they
At
heard-
least,
they
at
probably-
least
they
6
were
out of 10.
They
No,
were
at,
trying to
at least
tell
the
us
behavior, the
Oh,
character, the
yeah.
way
Yeah.
they were behaving. You know, you see something. We
Yeah.
just so caught up in our daily, and that we miss
Right.
certain things, man. But the
But-
signs are almost always
There.
there.
Unfortunately, there are some people that I've heard about that like they don't show no signs. You see them like happy.
Right,
like,
right. No,
that's the
that-
last person I expect.
But that's why I say 6 out of 10, Jay. I'm not gonna tell you 9 out of 10 because I'll be lying. I'll even say half. I'll go 5 out of 5, 5 out of 10.
Those be
We
like,
we gotta be careful, man. You know, you're gonna, my bad, V. I'll
Go
give you
ahead,
the
beat
floor
down,
right
beat
now.
down.
You see the different conversations. You see the different signs. You see the different attitude.
Yeah.
There's always
Right.
something that if you see something, it may not be nothing great. It may not be
Right.
nothing big, but address it. Talk to that person. Hey, and I don't know if I brought this up in one of our beginning episodes, but when I told one of the drivers that
Yeah,
report to
yeah,
me,
I remember.
I told them, I said, you need a couple of days off? You know what I'm saying? You're not normal. You know what I'm saying? I see something. So again, which I did, Jay. I did bring.
Right.
Those are the things we got to be on top of. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
See the unnormality
Right.
on a
Like,
character.
something that I've experienced myself personally is like usually I'm very like happy go lucky, chill, make fun, like bring everything into like making it like a funny comment and stuff like that or a joke. And when I come up to people and I'm not in that state of mind, I'm like more serious or something like that. They're like, "Damn, what's wrong with you? You're always happy." And it's like, when I tell them, it's like, I do that because that's like kind of like my wall. Like, I don't let people see when I'm feeling down, so I always try to hide it with like joking around and stuff like that. But I'm not always in a good place. I mean, sometimes
Right.
I'm mad or sad or stuff like that, but I don't let people know. I'm always gonna be joking around, but sometimes I can't hide it. I
Right,
mean,
and that's when you stand out, and that's when the loved ones that care about you gonna be able to pick on it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, hold on, like we don't know when the hell you're going through something because you're
Yeah.
always on that caliber. You know what I'm saying? You're always up there. So why are you not up there? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
there has to something defeated you at this point
Right.
that the loved one's supposed to step into that plate.
right.
Yeah, and address it, man.
don't
But yeah.
hide the emotion.
Yeah, nah, and you already know you got us here, man, on air, off air, on
Right.
our group chat, anything, bro. Whenever the hell you feeling like
Whoever know
whatever,
me, whoever know me, sorry, P. Whoever know me, they know they can talk to me.
Yeah, we already know that. We already know.
Confidential.
yeah,
There's a lot. Fun food, relationship.
We got
You know
Dr.
what I mean?
We got our own Dr. Phil over here, baby.
yeah.
I can keep going. Kids, all that. I've been taking care of my nephews since I was like 14, 13 years old. All these damn.
Yeah.
I love you all. I love you all.
Yeah, you already know, man.
Hey,
Thank
stop
you,
it.
man, ladies and gentlemen.
I know we're about to leave, but damn. And the next one, Pops is around. Él me dijo que lo llamara.
Nah, yeah. So next week, next
el
week,
viejo está
Next
ahí,
week.
viejo.
next week. Yeah, we gotta. But you spoke to him when? Yesterday? Today? When you spoke? to him?
No, like a couple of days ago.
Okay, yeah. So then let's let them know that for sure, cause we could call him today, but now they just leave it for next week.
Yeah, let's
I'll see
see
what-
what happens. You never know what
See
happens.
for the next episode.
But
I'll hit
before
them
we
up after
leave,
we leave
I'm
off
usually
air.
not the one to say it because I forget all the places. I want to give a shout out to an A&A mini market.
Oh,
Go ahead, bro. That's you.
That's why I always forget. It's never me that says it.
shout out to EVD
Mhm.
and shout out to JTS. You already know. Painting and for your TV and my
Soul.
bad. Nah, but espérate, yo venía. Yeah, I got you. But my dog, my brother, Mo, he said, Iconic Soul, baby.
There you go.
Yeah, man. You can find all those people on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? If you anywhere by 62nd and 7th Ave, trying to jump on I-95 and you need a bottle of water, stop right there in A&A Mini Mart. You know what I'm saying? If you need your cameras, because some people jumping gates and stuff, holla at my boy Jimmy for sure, man. He'll pick clean work. JTS, clean work. You know what I'm saying? And them sneakers, man. Don't go into nobody's club with no dirty sneakers, man.
No, don't be doing that.
Iconic Souls, man. We got you, man. For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
For sure, man. Thank you once again, man. Recojan los micrófonos, mi gente. Jay, take us out.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Baby.
Yes, sir.
BPNJ Show. We'll be back like always.
Yeah.